Hi everyone, this is Shane R. Monroe, and I thought I would do a quick demonstration of the remastered Dragon's Lair Trilogy. Somebody had done a huge project where they took Dragon's Lair 2 and Space Ace and used artificial intelligence to upscale the video to super high, super clear definition. And you can see a couple of the files here that are being played back. Very, very cool stuff. And so once the files were made available, a lot of the community decided to go ahead and work these into Daphne proper. And so that's what we ended up with. We ended up with a super amazing high-resolution version of Dragon's Lair, Space Ace, and Dragon's Lair 2. I went ahead and did my thing and created a special launcher to actually launch each of these with the right settings and the right VOB files and all that other stuff. So what we end up having here now is all three games, both in 4x3 and 16x9 with matted editions, right? So a lot of people are probably very excited to have 16x9, but as you know, with the matting process, you will pay a penalty because the items will be cropped, and we'll take a look at that a little bit as we go. So let's take a look at this guy. I'm going to do some direct feed here as well as some off-screen stuff so you can see. So let's take, of course, a look at the consummate Dragon's Lair in the original 4x3 ratio. And because this is Daphne and it is an emulator, it does this whole same boot up process. Okay, there we go. And so, as you can see, we're in 4x3, which is the resolution that or the aspect ratio that it should be for the original game. If you take a look, you can see coins down here. You can see the bottom of Daphne's shoe. You can see the chain up here, right? So that's how, that's going to get cropped out when we go to the other version. So let me hop over to the 16x9 version, and just so you can see that. Okay, so now we're looking at the 16x9 attract screen, and you can start taking a look at where things may have been cropped off. You can see a lot of the coins are missing down here. Look at that, all the way up to her ankle, right? You look up here, the whole chain is gone. So again, you pay for 16x9. If you want to play in the more widescreen orientation, you will unfortunately have to pay that penalty and get a cropped view. All right, so let's take a look at, I don't know how I just got it launched again. So let's take a look at how some of these play. Obviously, you've probably seen these games played a million times, but let's take Space Ace out for a little run here. We'll play a little bit. We'll play the first scene, both in 4x3 and 16x9, so you can kind of see how it might actually end up affecting the actual gameplay. And again, this is the original aspect ratio. So we'll go ahead and get started here. I'm just going to play on the keyboard. I could put the mouse, I could plug the controller in, but screw that. All right, we're just going to play for a little bit. As you can see, and listen, I've never seen Space Ace look this good, right? I mean, this is absolutely phenomenal. It looks great. The colors are great. And I don't have headphones on, so I'm an audible cue guy. So I'll probably end up dying just because I don't hear my audio cues. But look at it, it's beautiful. I mean, have you ever seen this game look so great? And it hasn't. And what's really nice is because it's animated, the scaling, the AI upscaling, actually looks really good. It doesn't have that weird bit where they try to turn faces, like faces end up looking like masks, you know? But there you go. So it looks amazing. It looks fantastic. So let's go ahead and go for Space Ace 16x9. All right. Wow, it looks really zoomed in, right? I mean, you can really see it. I also think that they might have messed with the frame rate a little bit because, and I'm not completely sure why, but every now and then it looks like there's a judder in the frame rate, and I'm pretty sure it's not the emulator. I mean, it still looks good, but it definitely looks zoomed in. It looks like instead of cropping, maybe they zoomed. And you can see some of the compression artifacting that wasn't necessarily there in the 4x3. But it still looks really good, right? I mean, look at that. Like half that little pile driver at the top. I was busy looking up there instead of playing. But you can see like half the pile driver is off, right? It's off the screen because it's cropped out or zoomed out in this case. Let's take a look at Dragon's Lair. So a lot of people know Dragon's Lair, but they don't know Space Ace. So why not take a peek here as well? And again, I challenge you to find a better looking version of Dragon's Lair or Space Ace. It looks incredible. Oddly enough, the drawbridge is on this particular one. I must have set it that way particular. But if I play the 16:9, the drawbridge isn't there. Of course, I missed my audio cue because I don't have headphones on. It's amazing, you know, how much you attribute playing this game to the audible cues that you hear. I could probably play this blindfolded, but I obviously can't play it deaf. We're going to miss this bridge sequence in the 16:9 in a minute. Might get a different intro screen too, no? I guess I can just sit here and hit the button. I like to be a little more precise. But what do you think? It looks good, right? Have you ever seen Dirk look so good? At least you can hear the audio, even if I can't. It's truly stunning how good this looks. Now, I know what you're going to say, Shane, where do I get this amazing package? Well, that's the thing. This is all copyrighted stuff. You're going to have to start digging deep to find such a prize is going to require that you go looking. Let's take a look at Dragon's Lair again. I'll try to give you some clue that you can Google it. Obviously, I can't provide links or anything to it. But as you can see, it's probably worth finding if you can. Here's the 16:9. Again, it looks a little bit zoomed. You can see some of the compression artifacting really showing up. As you can see, it also skipped the drawbridge. Look at the fire ropes. Another one that I really rely on the sound. And I usually go late too. So anyway, those of you who've seen my other Dragon's Lair videos know I'm a lot better at Dragon's Lair in Space Ace than what you're seeing here. See, there was a little bit of that frame drawbridge. I don't know how it'll come out on the camera or on the feed, but you can definitely tell there's a little something funky about the 16:9s. So I usually play the 4x3. See, there was a lot of compression artifacting on the door too. Makes me wonder what they were up to. Looks amazing, right? How do you go wrong? Okay, well, that's probably enough of that. You probably want to see what Dragon's Lair 2 looks like. Never a huge favorite of mine. We'll look at some of the intro together, but I'm not going to actually play it. I mean, I could play it, but honestly, it's just, it isn't my favorite of the games. It does have some amazing scenes in it, by the way. It's one of those games where you would rather watch it than actually play it. Yeah, and this was all, you can tell there's a lot of, even the hardware architecture is different for Time Warp. There you go. You can note the sort of like the us versus them or cliffhanger overlays, because this was actually running on a PC using driving a laserdisc player. You can see it looks pretty good though. I mean, the animation just wasn't quite as tight on here, I don't think, in a lot of cases. That's a great scene, by the way. Almost all the scenes are great. Do it for the children. But yeah. So that's the, 4x3 proper orientation. I don't know why. I must have had a keystroke in there being captured, whatever. Listen, I wrote that launcher in like 2 seconds, so what do you want? So let's take a look at Dragon's Lair. Dragon's Lair 2 Time Warp in 16:9. Kind of looks 4x3 there, huh? There we go.
Dragon's Lair. Time Warp.
And again, you can see everything looks like it was just zoomed into, right? So almost like an inverted pan and scan process, right? Somebody zoomed into the video and then cropped it the best that they could. Everything just looks bigger, which is probably why you see more compression artifacting and everything else. Not that it doesn't still look great, but listen, I'm a big original aspect ratio fan, so it's nice to have choices, but in this case, I would choose 4x3. All right, well, listen, I hope you enjoyed looking at the remastered version of Dragon's Lair and Dragon's Lair 2 and Space Ace. Thanks so much for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe, you know what to do. Hit the bell, blah, 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 blah. This is Shane R. Monroe, and as always, thanks so much for watching. Take care.